It's my ed with Jeff. Seriously, it's my ed with Jeff. Okay, why isn't it taking a picture? Oh, it's taking a video. Starting up gradebook, preferences, and categories. Our journey to use the gradebook starts with um, the pages part, and we go over to our name in the top right corner of the screen. If you haven't done this already, this is a good chance to do that. So in the preferences that are right under your name, you have checked the lower page controls. And now what we're going to do is go over to gradebook, where we will decide what scale we want to use. It should be set for provincial scale final marks, and so we want to do that. But right now, we want to go with category total points or total points. So you want to give this uh, a thought. If you use categories, then select category total points. And if you don't use categories, use total points. So I'm going to set up my class to use categories. So I'm going to just select category total points. And I'm also going to select one decimal so that it calculates out to like 75.3, so that if I have to choose between what a student gets, I will have that opportunity. And I'm also going to go up here to tab direction to change the behavior of the tab key on my keyboard, because I know I'm going to be entering a lot of marks down. So I'll be entering marks one assignment at a time. So I can change this so that the tab key goes down the list rather than going across. Okay? And that's sort of the main ones that you need to um, do on here. There is one more here called show missing column, and this will um, show us if a student is missing an assignment. And because we are counting, we have no zeros. If we see an empty spot, we want the program to count that empty spot as a missing assignment. So here we go. We're going to press OK. And now our preferences are saved. Now that means that whatever class we create, if we go with gradebook default, it's going to use the scale and options we selected there. So now we can go over to our gradebook column on the top tab and pick a class. You can see I'm already in Chem 11, but if I were to pick, I would want to pick my quarter 4 class and set up my Chem 11 class. So you'll see right off the top here, we have the course nickname, which you could change. We have the average mode, where it's going to use the gradebook default, what I selected in my preferences. And then if it wants, it's going to choose the one that I chose as well by using gradebook default, but I could also change it if I wanted to. This is an interesting part down here where you can link classes for assignments and categories. So I think I'll do that in a different video where we talk about how you can make all your classes have the same assignments. The next part is categories. So you can do this from this page in the details section, or you can press save here and look at details in over here. Okay, so you have down here, you have your roster, your seating chart, which we created, groups, if you decided to make groups for your class, curricular competencies, again, a different video, and then we get to categories. So we don't have any categories entered at all. And so we're going to change that. So we're going to start with adding a category and giving it a code. So I'm going to call this one uh, UT, okay? And I'm going to describe it as unit tests. Now, how much of my class should I have this be um, counted for? So my unit tests are summative assessment, and they make up a pretty large part of the course. So I'm going to choose 30% for that. Okay. Um, Assignment defaults. So this again, it automatically defaults to your um, what you've chosen, but you could choose to use a different grading scale here by just pressing on the um, magnifying glass. Okay? And then it becomes this way, and you can see there's your provincial scale final marks again. Basically, what you're choosing in here is just 100%. So um, it's doing it numerically as opposed to um, a different scale. Okay, so we've chosen our provincial scale final marks. We're probably just going to enter numeric, but we're going to put both there in case we want to put I. Okay. Total points. Now, for total points, um, we are going to go with 100 at this point. Okay? We don't want any extra credit points. We don't want it to be dropped. And we're going to make this public. So that's our first category. Great. So this total points is the amount that you anticipate for each assignment. It can be changed for each assignment as you enter it. So it doesn't really matter what you put in there. It's kind of like this is a default value. So for my unit tests, I'm going to say they're out of 100. I have no idea how much each test is going to be out of, but I can always change that. And then I can save that. So I've gone through all the options for that, and I press save. Now I can add another category here and call it inquiry. So my class is doing an inquiry project, and we're going to just go with that's going to be worth 20% of their grade. I'm going to leave this blank because it's going to default to that 100. And again, I'm going to go with 100 here, but it really doesn't matter. And I'm going to change it to public. What that means by public is the students will be able to see these categories. So now I've saved that, and when I go to categories, I'll see the list of categories that I've created. Okay, one was worth 20%, 20, and one was weighted at 30. So you can see over here it's adjusted that because we only have those two things. So my inquiry is going to be worth 30%, 40%, and my um, unit tests are going to be worth 60%. That might not be all, though. The chemistry class, so I'm going to give a category called labs. Um, and labs are a big part of chemistry, so we're going to call that a calculation weight of 40. And again, I'm going to enter 100 and public, save that. And that is, when I go back to categories here, going to give us an uneven set of percentages. I've got 20, 40, 30 here. So 20 and 40 is 60 and 30 is 90. I bet you didn't think I could do that kind of math. more than just a good voiceover. So what we are going to do here is just add one last category that's worth 10%. I'm going to call this category. Uh, what else do students do in class? Oh, no, we don't want to have a leadership category. I'm going to pause. Uh, okay, let's just go with um, uh, reports. Okay, so my class is going to create reports on famous chemists, and that's going to be worth 10%. And I'm going to keep that as both and make it public and press save. So now when we go back to look at our categories, we have our inquiry lab report in UT. You can see the default points of each one, and I didn't make that for the reports. I can just go back and edit that, put it at 100. Okay. And I'm going to save that, take that, and go back and look at the weightings. So 20, 40, 10, and 30. The percentage 20, 40, 10, and 30. The default weight for assignments is going to come out to 0. That might be something that we want to change later on. Let's stop there at the end of categories, and we'll cover assignments in the next video. Okay, why isn't it taking a picture? Oh, it's taking a video.